Hello. How is everybody today? Just a second. That's always just a second. I just really got a pile of crap under my feet here. So I've set things up a little bit differently. Not anything earth-shaking here. Just I have my Accuquilt out. Oh, I forgot to flip that over. I'm just gonna flip this over right now. So I'm playing with my Accuquilt. Well, not playing with my Accuquilt. So I've got the Accuquilt, which is a... Hi, Gail. So that is one of the dies. My thoughts so far are pretty positive. Right this minute, I am processing a screaming shit ton of scrap. I've got two dies right over here. I know it's hard to see, but hi, Tammy. I know it's hard to see right this second, but I need to set the cameras up so that I can still actually get some work done. So what I've done is I've shoved my sewing machine off to the back, so it's out of the way. So all the usual crap that you see lining my table, I shoved all that out of the way, made myself a little command center. This is my Accuquilt. I've already got it turned on. This is the electric one. A, hooray for business expenses, and B, yeah, I was doing this yesterday too. So, hooray that it's a business expense, and because I sew professionally, I have way too much scrap to deal with. So this goes like this. The handle's here. You're actually supposed to store it upright. I may have to get up and deal with that camera in a second, but I'll make sure I'm done fucking with everything first. Come on. Can you do it? No, it can't do it. That camera's way over there. I might as well. I mean, I've already been working. I worked for about like 4.5 hours yesterday cutting fabric. I got to figure out the camera now. It was perfect a minute ago. Oh, that blows monkey chunks. Went to the trouble of setting it up, and now it doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Okay, not gonna fuck around with that. So this is the electric one. One of the things too is like I have I don't want to do the whine about my health thing, but I have a tendency toward tendonitis in this wrist. I have a tendency. I have a little bit of a, oh, who knows? I'm just getting fucking old, right? I'm turning 60 this year, so it's like I don't want to be cranking. I don't want to be spending hours cranking because I have a lot of scrap. I don't know if you guys remember. Just a second. I had all the crap that I have laying around. I had two of these buckets stuffed so completely full, just cramming it in so completely full, and they're just plastic. They're not huge. I might as well keep that one down there. I may need it. I had those stuffed completely full, and if anybody's gotten a fabric pack from me, you know how much fabric I've been sending out the door lately just to try and get some. This is what I have left. This is what I have left after. Where's my scissors? I built my command center. Oh, there's my scissors. I built a little command center because what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, so let's just so the Accuquilt electric. Hi, Marion. I love that I have one too. So it comes with this one. It comes with that. It comes with this. This is Flying Geese. I had this out and was playing with it a little bit right when I first got the machine. So it comes with the electric one comes with that. It comes with the mat. I'm not even going to try and sort out cameras. Once I actually get cutting fabric, that's why the other camera's up. So it comes with this. So then what I went ahead and got Oh shit, that fell. Okay. I got this guy. This is called the 12-inch cube because the dies in here combine out the basic dies. Like, so if I do 4 of these, if I do 4 of these and sew them together, I have a 12-inch block. So this is pieces and parts that make 12-inch blocks. But wait, there's more. It comes with its own mat. Fuck, did that go? Yeah. So it comes with a set. These 3 plus 5 others. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 others. 5 others? Anyway, that comes with a set. That also comes with a mat. So it comes with that size mat, which fits the other 2. And it's just a little bit big. So that's that. That's what I got there. Then I got, and I already showed these ones a bit too. I'm just going to hold, the dies are over here buried under fabric. I got this one that does 1.5-inch strips. I got this one that does 2.5-inch strips. And each of them, it's not super stellar, but each of them has instructions for like different types. Every single one of these comes with at least one set of instructions for one type of block. Okay. And since we're all just friends here, I also got, let me just put it back. I'm going to show you. Okay. I'm going to show you guys everything that I got. Okay. So let's back up just a little bit. Let's back up just. You know what? Since I have Accuquilt in the title, people who are thinking other people might wander in looking for an actual outline of what to expect with an Accuquilt. So since I have Accuquilt in the title, I should be a little bit more of a grown up today and blah blah blah. So I'm going to break down what I got because it looks like I bought a big mega set, right? So I got the machine that came with this. That was one purchase. Okay, that was one purchase. Okay. Then the 12-inch block, the big box that I just hauled up and showed you. Let's just get this guy out. Ugh. Yep. I got the Accuquilt so I could conveniently cut fabric without busting my body up. And then first thing I'm going to do. Oh, and this booklet, this handy dandy little booklet. Now this is patterns that use the flying, like this is all, this booklet is here's how to use your Accuquilt. And I think it has it in the back. No, there's a separate little booklet that is the quick guide and whatever, right? So this little booklet that shows you lots and lots of ideas using this. Oh yeah, you guys got a good view of that. So that with an idea book for that quilt, that's one. This was one thing. Okay, that was one thing. This. Now I've got 3 of these. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. So these are 3 different blocks that I'm working with today. There's basically small, medium, and large-ish. It should say right on it. 3.5-inch square, 4 3/4-inch square, 6.5-inch square. Okay, that is part of this set. Now this set, the 10-inch cutting mat comes with it. So that's in here. This is kind of really cool. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all I've taken out today, I'm just processing basic scrap. Okay, I'm processing basic scrap, so I'm just going for basic blocks. That's why I only have these 3 out for now, right? So then you open this up. You open that up. You just pull it right out, and then you open it up, and you've got, what is that? I haven't actually, let's explore together. I just grabbed the blocks. So this is a this is one I haven't opened yet. Diamond star pattern. It's half square triangle. Let's pop it open. I will tell you guys, by the way, if you have something to open, like, because this is wrapped as tight as a deck of cards, right? So if you have something to open, if you take a stitch ripper and just get up into the corner, because the corners usually have a little nub of the plastic wrap that sticks up. Get in there, get it started, and then peel it open. You can get into the most tightly wrapped things and not damage your stuff that's underneath of it. Okay, so you open this guy up, and when you go on their website, there's also other. There's oh my God, you go on the Accuquilt website, and I found a link in the Accuquilt website that talked about that basically led to a form of some kind. I haven't really checked it out yet. I've got a big garbage down here. So you do that. This is just covering it, right? And this is 2 half square triangles. So they touch from here to here, and then you have your triangle, and the corner pieces, you can see it. Let me flip my camera. So I can show you guys what I got going on here. You're gonna do it? Okay. So when you get in here, you can see that, yeah, stitch rippers are great. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't sew, you go into your nearest, even Walmart, they're like $1. They're like $1, and they're so much finer than a letter opener. Also, anyway, so these, when you get in close, you can see that the points are already removed. The point there is there at the back. I'm trying to go reverse. That point's there, but these points are removed so that when you sew your pieces together, you do not have to go back and trim your corners. Sometimes, depending on what kind of a project you want to be working on, that may not be ideal. So now each one, okay, so this was the cover that came with this one, and it comes with a full set of instructions to make that block. And it's like cut 4 of these. Each one is color coded, so it's like you'd stack everything up. But yeah, it's a clear step-by-step instructional. You can also buy these individually. You don't have to buy these as a big set. I bought the big set because I know I'll use the big set. So this is, wait, that's the diamond star pattern. Which one did I just have out? Oh, that does go there. I don't know. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm probably going to end up making a folder and putting all of these in separately. But this is another one. Now it seems similar, but they are actually different, right? So now you got 2 different blocks that you can make and step-by-step instructions to do it. And the instructions, so the instructions that are so if you make a block using the die, this here, the instructions for this are all using pieces that come with the set, right? And if you make this according to the instructions using this kit, you will get a 12-inch block when you're done. And then, oh shit, I have another little mat. So I have the proper size. I do have the cutting mat. I didn't think to double check. And then this is a complete booklet showing you stuff that you can make. Okay. This is the 6-inch by 6-inch cutting mat. Yeah, I should take that. Nah, I don't need that right now. Okay. So, and they just fold up over on themselves. Okay, so what else do I have? What else is in here? I wonder if I've got another cutting mat. This is the 12-inch block cutting mat. I wasn't expecting to find another cutting mat. Now, I'm not going to open these up because these are, so again, this is the bigger blocks that you would use for the bigger pieces. And again, I've already got this one. I've got this one out. That's the big one. That's the biggest square I showed you. So these are your triangles, and it shows right there. It shows right there what it is. It's hard to see. It shows it what it is, and it tells you this is a 6-inch finished square. So it tells you if you cut 2 of these and sew them together, you'll have a 6-inch square. So it tells you what it is. It tells you what it is, so it's really easy to figure out. So I will be. I know. Okay. I will be using these other ones later, but for right now, I just have way too much scrap. I need way too much scrap. I do not have the time. I guess I could make the time, but I do not want to just sit here. I don't want to agonize over every single piece of fabric. So I am literally just making squares. Come here, I'm literally just turning my scrap into squares and strips. The rest will come later because I sew professional. Oh, this has already got a bit of a tear at the back, but that's not a big deal. So anyway, this is the cube. This is like almost $600 for just this set. But it came with that. I found the littler one. It came with all of this stuff. Now, apparently, if you do a lot of cutting, if you're cutting a lot of fabric all the time, then you may want to replace. Sorry, I got something in my eye. If you're doing a lot of cutting, on a regular basis, apparently I've just had this for what, going on to 3 weeks now. So apparently you may want to replace, if you're doing a lot of cutting, you may want to replace these about once a year is what I've looked up so far. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's relative though. I mean, like, I think it depends on what you're using it for. I'm keeping my glove on for 2 reasons. Anyway, so we've got that. That was like almost $600. These are about $150 each. This is Canadian money, by the way. This is in Canadian money. I don't know what the price is US, but so these are about $150 each Canadian. I did notice that, as a matter of fact, when I picked those up, they were on sale. I think I only paid about $135 or something. So they're about 150 Canadian to get them. I've already spotted a couple of people. I was actually really surprised when you see a product like this. Okay, Cricut. Cricut's a good example, and I'll get to that in a minute. I need a drink. I'll be right back. I need to adjust my fan. Okay. When you go online and you look up Cricut, if you go online and you look up the Cricut, which is a fabric cutter, and it's fabric and paper and all kinds of stuff, right? If you go online and look up a Cricut, you will find them for sale. People will be selling their old Cricuts. I found one Accuquilt for sale that somebody was trying to sell. One. Now I'm up here in Canada, which means that it's like, okay, I'm up here in Canada, which means we may not necessarily see as much stuff up here, but I'm in the Vancouver area, really high population, blah, 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 blah. I found one Cricut. I found one Cricut and like 4 dies for sale. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can, increase the lifespan by flipping, rotating, moving it ever so slightly side to side. Yeah. So a cutting mat is a thing. Oh, and for the big long die there, the big long ones that I just showed you, you have to get a big long cutting mat. They don't come with it. You do have to buy them separately, and this was like $75. So, but honestly, people spend. When Cricut was which one came out? The Cricut Air. It was like $1,200 for the Cricut Air. And with the Cricuts, I don't know much about Cricut, but with the Cricut, it's got a little cutter blade that does the thing, and you have to replace those blades regularly, and they're not cheap either. So I think as a cash comparative, this is probably a better investment than a Cricut, because as long as you keep them clean, as long as you keep these clean and take care of them, apparently the dies can last like for decades. I'm not seeing them for sale. Look at that way over there. Okay, so this was all part of the block that I got. That was about $600. I'm all in. Everything, the machine, this. I'm all in. Oh shit. Okay. This is what's called a block on board. Okay. This is called a block on board. I haven't played with it yet, and I'm going to. So when you get to the block on board, they come like this. They come like this, and Lisa and I decided to pick 3 of them. This block on board, these are all your pieces, right? Everything's labeled. This is what's really cool. And I can't wait to get to this, but I got to get that. I got to get that done. Okay. So that's what it's for. It's for that. And you can honestly, it's the exact same block. They're just holding it at an angle or straight. So it's for this block. You just run it all through and you have all the pieces pre-cut in exactly the right sizes. And then you come here and there's your instructional right there on the back. There's your instructional right there. And like literally, it's like EF. So an E and an F together. There's E, there's F. So an E and an F together. So a D, a B, and an A. So it's the instructions are really, really clear. So what my plan is, I'm going to do my fabric, and I'll take my time, figure out the fabric. I'll do my fabric, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it out in the same order that it came off the machine, so that it came off the cutter, so I don't lose track. But this particular design takes a ton of oddly shaped pieces, right? And that is what makes some of these fancy blocks people don't want to do the fancy blocks because of
how complicated it is to cut the fabric. So that is one that I'm going to be doing for sure. We don't know if this is, and this makes a 10 shapes, free pattern downloads, and block assembly instructions available. And that's for other. You can use these to make different things. Like if I want to make something different, I can just get into here and cut two or three of those, sew them together and do something different with it. So I have the benefit of a whole bunch of new shapes that I can either use in one block or do other things with. So that's going to be a thing. The other one, okay, get ready for, I want to show you guys this one. Lisa got super excited. I want to show you guys this one. You guys are just going to have to deal because I was using this one. So this is another one that I got. This one I'm really excited about because you can literally put it together in all sorts of ways and even get there. There's the one I want to do is right there, the one in the center. So that is to get the perfect cuts you need so that you can do your angles and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. Okay, my computer right now is on the back of the couch. So if I just dump the computer on the back of the couch without anything, then the couch cushions will block the heat vents, and then I will only be able to stay online for about 15 minutes. Okay, we'll set that there. So that one, I forget the prices on these ones. They were on sale as well, which helped. This is another one that I'm going to be doing. And again, these are, there it is. Okay, let's get that over there. I'm actually going to be cutting fabric. Like I said, because I've got Accuquilt in the title, because I've got the word Accuquilt in the title, I want to make sure that if anybody who's not part of the Hang Out With Me crew wanders in, they can at least get a few minutes of a very, very like hyperactive description of what this is like. So the show and tell phase is almost over. So this is one that I want to do. And these are called block on board. These are called block on board, by the way, because all the pieces you need are on board. And that's all this is. You cut 1, 2, 3, 4. You cut 6 of those and 12 of those in whatever color combination that you enjoy, and then sew them together using this one's pretty obvious. using the handy dandy. Where are they? Oh, I may have lost the card for that one. This one's not. This one's not. There was an instruction card, but I'm not seeing it. But yeah, this is an 11. This is 11 inches when it's finished. The really cool thing I like about this too is that when you're sewing on an angle, when you're sewing on, see those little points right there? See those little points sticking out? Ah, right there. See those little points? When you're sewing anything on an angle, you need to be able to match up your centers. So the center's already marked. So I can just cut this, match those points, hold everything down, sew it, be done. And just with the, now one thing that I don't know if you're noticing, one thing I'm doing is I'm not agonizing about getting my hands over here. In between the gray and the black is all razor blades. So if you are somebody who digs it, if you are somebody who grips really hard just by default, then do not get your. I'm like holding it softly. If you're somebody who digs in really hard by default, don't, because this is sponge and this is sponge, and as it goes over the roller, it lets the blades. It pushes everything down onto the blade. So if you are a person who grips things very, very tightly by habit, you could actually cut yourself. So make sure that you're not grabbing. Don't do like I do if you have a Kung Fu grip, okay? But it's not, I have not felt like I was going to cut myself at all. Like I said, I feel like if I were to grip something exceptionally hard and be over that, be on the line, that I could. So don't decide that you will not cut yourself. What is that one? Oh, just cutting tips with the dies. That comes in like almost everything. This one I've already used. This one I've done. Okay, just slide out. This one I'm in love with. This one, I'll be right back. I will be right back. I will show you a thing. That helped me make this. So I use the die. I use the die here to line up. I use the die to perfectly line up this section in the center, and then I just put my rings around it. And I mean, I know how to cut a hexagon. I've had other hexagon stuff in the shop. This is in the shop right now. I know how to cut a hexagon. I've had other hexagon stuff that I've done in the shop. That's not a problem. But when you're cutting a shape, if one's a little off, if one side is a little off from the other, you can have this. You always want this to be as symmetrical as possible. If I'm cutting by hand and one of these is off by even a quarter of an inch, by the time you add to it, it starts getting less and less and less pretty. So I use this die to get my centerpieces for these. I think there's another one as well. I use that. Yeah. I use this for it. I use this to get my centerpiece. I use this to get my centerpiece cut. And that was just a matter of adding everything else to it. It saved me a lot of time, and it saved me a lot of hassle because I did not have to come back whenever I'm hand cutting a shape, I come back and I double and triple check and make sure that I've got it, that I didn't fuck something up and get one side too big, too small, right? Zoop, go. It was great. It was awesome, and it was a great experience. So this die is definitely already worth it, and it made it super easy, right? Okay, I gotta go put the mat away because it's for sale in the shop, and I don't want to do anything to it. So
So the other ones that make those were called the other ones that I showed you. I didn't even say what they are. They're called block on board, where every shape that you need to cut for a specific block is already on the die. So all you have to do is match up your colors and run it through, right? So today, what I've done, this is the 3.5 inch square. This is square on point. And to be honest, I really don't know what it means. I don't know what square on point means, but it's just a bigger square. So these go in. These are a little bit angled. These are a little bit angled for a reason, because if this was going in perfectly straight, I can move my camera back around. If this was going in perfectly straight, the die may not push the bottom layer in correctly, or it may let it shift. When it's going in at a bit of an angle, the roller is going to catch this side first. So as it's rolling everything forward, nothing's going to slip. I mean, I'm sure that it's a little bit more complicated, not complicated, but there's probably a little bit more to it than that. So you will find that when you get these dies, that they are all, except for the strip sets. Now the strip one is just straight lines. The strip one is just straight lines because, and I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a bit. The strip one is buried under a ton of garbage. Not garbage. I shouldn't call my scrap garbage. So what I've done is I've got the small, the medium, and the large. I've got my 10-inch here. Okay. And what I'm doing, now this is a strip. I'm just gonna go because I'm just gonna go. I've got to get some of this stuff done. You guys will figure out what I'm doing. You guys will figure out what I'm doing as I'm doing. Oh, and by the way, cleaning your mats. I'm not gonna actually try and clean anything, and I'm not gonna get all crazy about it. Cleaning your mats, I keep a good pair of tweezers. And these are Urban Butterfly. These are makeup tweezers. These are the kind you get. These are like eyebrow tweezers. These are really good tweezers. So if I notice a bit of every now and again you'll get a little bit of stuff stuck in the gap between the two different types of between the two foams, right? I've also got, this is a little I forget what this is. What size was the mat that I made? Oh shit, I'll go get it and measure it. So anyway, this one here, it's got a little plastic tip and a little brush. So I'll get the little I'll get a little plastic tip in there. I'll use the tweezers to pick up the stuff. Use a little brush. I'm not going crazy digging at it with anything. I do not dig in with the tweezers. I only use the tweezers on the surface to pick off anything that's already sticking up. One of the things that I read about this was how to keep the dies clean. And one of the things that you can do to clean the dies, if you're really super aggressive, if you're super aggressive about digging in with metal implements and stuff, you can damage the die, which means you fuck things up. I will go get that mat back and measure it for you. La 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 la. This might be an up and down a lot video today too, simply because. So I did this one where the wide part is up and down. I've also got a little safety pin with the number on it. I did a bunch of tarot mats, and they're similar. So a lot of them are similar. So I don't want to. Last thing I want to do is somebody gets a tarot mat and then I get distracted on which is which. Where's my freaking? I lost track of everything. Okay, I know my measuring tape is around. Oh, there it is. The mess, the crap that I have just stacked up here. So going from top to bottom with the deer being upright, it's just a little hair shy of 15 inches tall and 17 inches wide. So it's 17 inches from point to point and then 15 inches tall.
just a touch shy of 15. But yeah. And these are really easy. I need to do like a little tutorial. So all I did with these, I kept these ones simple, and There's the reason why I keep the gloves on, by the way, because my fingers are so dry that picking up little flakes of fabric. So yeah, I just did that, and then for the top stitching, because I used flannel for this, I just went around each one. I just went around each one all the way around and finished it that way. And then there's a nice little there it is. You can just see the little pattern on the back. The back's plain, but I like to be the back is always plain, but I like to be aware of how the back is going to look, because some people like to draw their cards in the front, and if they want to take a picture, they want to flip it over to the back. So it needs a backing anyway. It might as well be a good one. Now I used my die cutter to get the centers. I did not use my die cutter for the things because, like I said, I'm still processing scrap. I haven't even got to the part where I can start doing did that fall off? Yes, it did. I haven't even got to the part where I can start intentionally doing certain things. This is just getting rid of my leftovers. Okay, so I built an assembly line for myself. I've got these 3 sitting out. I've got my 2 strip cutters over here, and they're underneath this giant pile. Oh, thank you. They're underneath this giant pile, so I can go up to 6 layers deep. So I'm just, that fits. Okay, it fits on this one comfortably. It doesn't fit on that one. See, I don't know if you can tell. You can see a little bit of the black around it, right? Where it's going to cut is exactly on that thing. So if it doesn't go all the way, this is 2 pieces of gold, and I gave it a quick, oh no, it's one. It's just 1 piece, right? I folded it in 4. And it actually fits over top of that one. So I'm just going to leave it there. So what I'm doing is go over here a little bit. I've got this out. I've got the flying geese one out, and I will be using it later, but I might as well get it. Okay, I can cut down a square. I can make this into a square, and then I can cut it into 2 triangles, right? But I cannot reattach 2 triangles back into a square. So I'm just working with scrap right now, which I'm working with scrap. You can afford to make all your mistakes. So what I'm doing, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it very well. You won't. So you can see the light gray. You can see the dark gray. So I am just lining this up close to the dark gray, and I'm trying to keep it at a similar angle because I'm trying to keep it at a similar angle, so it is angled a bit, right? So that's already got 4 layers on it. Now these triangles, these are triangles left over. Doing the star ones, doing the star cloths that I do, there's actually a lot of scrap. There's a lot of scrap that comes off of these. So now I'm just going to line that up. This is my microphone. Let's see if I can get that out of the way. Can you guys still hear? You guys should be able to still hear me. Okay. So hi, Vintage Peonies. So I've already got this as a line here, right? So I'm just lining up on that line, and then I'm going to bring it down, just hold it lightly in place, and I'm going to check. That's not going to go all the way there. I can tell right now that it doesn't fit. So I'm just going to put it over here on this one. Fits over here, no problem. Okay. This is a bigger triangle. And again, I already know that it's not going to fit here because I can tell at a glance from my angle. You guys aren't necessarily getting. So this one will fit. Okay. I've got a couple of options. Which are fine. Now, I looked at a lot of videos, right? And a lot of people were saying to trim this off before you put it through the machine. But I also saw people, this is 5 layers, but I don't need to agonize. I wonder if I should take out that other thing. I'm going to get out that other one.
Is where it was? Yeah, it's right here. I'm just gonna drop everything everywhere. Does that one fit? That one fits. I might as well use it. Because I don't want to overburden. I don't want to overburden just one. Okay. Well, I don't know if I like that or not, but the top is open, which means that if I tip something, it will come out. But that's okay. Okay. I've got that down on the floor because it's what I'm doing right now. I've actually so far it's living on top of the one shelf that's over there. So these do have a right way and a wrong way to go into the machine, but because this is perfectly square at a perfect angle, this one's a lot more forgiving about the angle. Okay, so right now there's a blue light that's on, right? The blue light means that something, it's got the electric one. You don't have to worry about this the same way with the crank one. This is a one button system, but something got close and it registered that there was something that shouldn't, a foreign body. They don't want you getting your hands in there. So it's a great little safety feature. If you have or want the electric, if the blue light comes on, it means it's detecting something. Turn it off, turn it back on again. There's only one button. This does not come with a I took the this is just the little mini table that snaps onto that machine that I never ever use. So I took the legs off of it to get it low enough. And I'm just using it as a catch table at the back. So this is super simple. Just you can have extra stuff draping over as long as it's not an insane amount. It's going to have a loud snap at the end because it's the one roller dropping back into place. They say you have to go like this to break up the static. I'm finding it's not really a problem. I just lift the corner and get a finger in there. Peel away all this stuff. And I've got 5 perfect squares. I am right now. The black ones go in one pile. The black goes in one pile. The brighter colors go in a different pile. Now, I showed you those other blocks, right? I showed you those. Yeah, it's called an Accuquilt. It's a fancy die cutting machine. They are, I don't know what, they've been around for a very long time. They've been around for a very long time, but it's amazingly difficult to find anything used. Now, I can throw this away, or I can save it because remember I showed you those other dies, or let's get it out. Okay. An assembly line can only be so big before it's a problem, right? So I can save these because that'll fit right there. I can angle these in there, get them on there, and I can get some triangles out of that because you do not, yeah, slide, don't lift. I don't know what it is because my hands are super, super dry all the time, right? So I found that if I just lift the corner and get a finger in there, I can just lift. But I mean, hand-eye coordination is very, very much to the individual. So I can just like angle those on there, right? And cut them. The only thing that I have to remember is, okay, so I'm going to do that one. And then I'm going to do that one, right? Well, this counts as 2 layers. As far as the machine, it's detecting something, probably just some dust. Okay, as far as this machine is concerned, that's already 2 layers because there's an overlap here. So keep that in mind when you're cutting, because if you put 6 of these and 6 of these, but there's an overlap, it's actually at that point, at this center line, going to be cutting through. Matt just sold. But no, so keep that in mind. If you're going to mix and match, so what's going to happen? Let's just run this through, and I'll show you exactly what's going to happen. Okay. Okay, right now, right this minute, this is not a, yeah, okay.
let's go back to the, they say slide, right? Which is better. Okay, slide is better. I have an issue with super dry skin. I have an issue, but my skin is the moisture in your skin is what helps you grip things. I have an issue with my skin being so dry that I have a hard time gripping things. Well, I have to really squeeze down to grip things, which is why I've got the tendonitis, right? So whatever works for you, just take your time. Don't be in a rush, right? Because if you just lift, it'll stick and everything. So what I've got going on here is, let's take this piece off. Let's take this piece off, just the piece. So I've got that much waste. That's not a problem because this is scrap, right? I've got a little piece that got cut over in here because it was overlapping that die. Then I've got that triangle. And I've got that triangle. I've got a little bit of waste here. So now I've got the two triangles. This is great for me for processing scrap, because when you're trying to take an odd shaped piece, oh, I don't think I laid that one over there very well. No, it's fine. Okay. When you're trying, you guys have seen, I've shown you guys some of the buckets and buckets of scrap I end up with, because I generate a lot of scrap with what I do. So once I get this done, the leftover triangle bits, which are all sitting over here, this is all the leftover pieces. They don't fit on here, but they're gonna fit. They're gonna fit here. Well, okay, they may not fit here either, right? But these are the pieces that I'm gonna take a second look at these pieces later and see what they do and don't go with. And like I said, I've got this out. Actually, I've got that out. I don't need that out now. I am leaving this for a separate process on another day, just simply because I don't have the space, right? I don't have the space or the time to be running back and forth. I'm doing 3 at a time as it is. So that I'm doing 5 at a time. I'm doing these 3, right? And then I screwed this up last night, because what I was doing last night was I would get a bunch over here, and then when I had a bunch of strips, these strips aren't going to go anywhere, right? As I have a bunch of strips, then I would just load up one, either the big or the small. Quilt block kits are your scrap. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to be taking like this. This is going to become a quilt kit. Well, maybe not a quilt kit. I don't know, because you can also sell these in you can sell these in packs. But like, I had a little guy. That was, that's the same one that I used for the hex, right? I had 2 of them that I could not, I just didn't have. This was fine, but it was right at the edge of the fabric, so I couldn't make a big one out of it, so I made a small one out of it. I don't know what kind of a kit I could make, but I can definitely that's got to be 40 to 50 right there. I can sell those. I'm not going to ask for tons and tons of money, but I'm going to get rid of some of those that way. I'm still doing scrap packs for you guys, by the way, because unless I go through so much scrap, I really, really do. So what I was doing is that needs to be put away. That's in the way right now. This all has a proper place to live, and I'm going to put that over there because I don't want to lose it. Okay, this all has a place to live, and that's fine. So what I was doing, that can just sit there. That can sit there. That can sit there. That can go there and there, right? So I do that. It's like that fits. So if I fold it in half, does it still fit? That fits. So I can turn this one. Into 2 of these, right? There's going to be extra scrap, but this is already scrap. This for me. I'm going to be a lot more careful. I'm going to be a lot more careful and a lot more conscientious about how I cut this stuff up when I'm cutting. You would not believe the fabric I've got to go through, because I've also got that was 4. I've also got other fabrics Yeah, these are just long, narrow strips. I already know they're not going to fit, right? So that one, no, you know what? I don't need to worry about that. This one will also go on here. Okay, this one I know is going to fit, right? This one I know is going to fit because it just drapes right over. So I can be a little bit more careful to get some leftovers, but I also know your scrap bucket, kids. Okay, so and I got 5 or 6. I'm not going to agonize about getting exactly 6 per. 6 is your limit, but also like if I'm cutting up, man, I don't have any out and I don't want to cut it, but if I was cutting batting with this, batting is a lot thicker. I'd probably maybe only do 2 at a time. Gauze, on the other hand, yeah, I don't know why. I'm finding it really easy to do this, but then again, I guess the idea is you want to be really careful that you're not digging into this and getting cut. I haven't been, yeah, so. And then I'm just stacking them according to their size. This, now if I really want to, if I really want to, I can save this and turn that into mini strips, which I'll do that. I'll show you what I'm doing with that. Okay. Now that can go over to the corner for a minute, and these can go up here for a second. Yeah, I must have some, just a second. I'm going to make some noise. It does seem to be a little oversensitive on detecting things that are, because it's detecting if there's something in there, right? And I just stuck my hand in there, nothing happened. Yeah, you can cut batting with it. You can cut any fabric, silk, any of it, right? I mean, if you were cutting it, okay, I think when they say 6, because this is like Accuquilt, right? It's meant for quilting. When they say 6, I do think that I think that their intention is, if you're quilting, you can do up to 6. But if you're doing a thinner material, you can probably go 7 or 8. If you're doing a heavier material, you do less. So it's about the overall thickness. Okay, this is all my scrap. And do not ask me about how much time I spent ironing this shit last night. By the way, the Accuquilt does not require you to iron your fabric. I definitely 100%. Okay, so this one here is my 2.5 inch. And I'm not sure. Let's switch the cameras so maybe you can get a better look. Come on. Okay. This here's the 1.5 inch. Oh, you guys aren't going to be able to see it. Okay. This is a 1.5 inch. Nope, you're not going to see it. Okay, so there's a strip here. There's 3. The lines are here, 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 and here. So you got about a good inch on either side, and it just goes straight down. So this one here, you're going to line up your fabric nice and straight, right? Now this is I'm not doing these together at the same time. This is the 1.5 inch. This one's a lot narrower, right? So, come on. Ideally, what you're going to do is get a big piece of fabric and just lay it straight down. This is my tab. This is my laptop. So, okay. Ideally, what you're going to do is you're going to get a big piece of fabric. You're going to lay it straight down. I can see where the blade ends on either end. I can see where the blade ends here, 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 and here. So ideally, you're going to line this up. Okay. Ideally, you're using proper fabric. This is scrap. Okay, this is perfect for processing your scrap. But what's going to happen is I'm going to run this through. This second piece is not going to be 2.5 inches wide. So again, like I was saying about take your time, relax, don't agonize. This one's got a curve in it. That's something else that happens to me. Oh, okay, you can see the. right there where so there's lines here. That's a 90-degree, 30-degree. What you can do is put your fabric through here and get your 90-degree cuts. So all I'm doing is I'm lining one up-ish, putting the straight-ish line. Because I'm doing scrap, I'm doing it a little bit differently. If it doesn't go, it has to go from this line to this line, or it's not cutting the way you need it to, right? This one here's got a bend in it just because of the way I cut it, and it's not going to reach properly. Don't worry, we'll take care of that in a minute. Okay. And then this one here, and again, you can go 6, but don't forget right here, that's already 1, 2, 3. That's already 3. So count. Make sure that if you're using it for scrap, and I know you guys aren't running out to get like I said, I'm having fun. I'm having fun giving a little tutorial / demo, and there may or may not be people wandering in looking up Accuquilt stuff. So why not do it right for them? Okay, so I'm gonna get. This is good enough. This is good enough because I'm just processing scrap and I don't have to do the thing. When it comes time to do this properly, what I'll be doing is cutting like a piece of fabric big enough to go edge to edge, lay it down here because it will cut. It's lengthwise cut will cut with the fabric. That's why it's so long. It will go full with the fabric. So this is a bigger one. Ugh. Okay. Oh, good night, Marianne. Okay, so people were talking about rubbing it to break up any static, which is what holds it all down. So when you're and this is, oh my God, this is the 2.5 inch that I've already done. That stuff I did, yeah, I would put anything through it. Yeah. Well, these are 2.5 inch strips that I've already done. 1.5 inch strips. I've got a bunch of them over there. I don't know if you guys aren't going to see much. I got a bunch. These are all 1.5 inch. Actually, that's other stuff. These are all the black ones. I want to keep them separated. Those are all the color ones. These are ones I already did these ones, and what I did was I sewed them together end to end, and then just rolled them up on a toilet roll so I can keep them out of the way. And that's going to be incorporated with that into the next quilt. So I start. Okay, if you're doing scrap, yeah, jelly rolls. I'm going to be doing jelly. I have got like 20 bolts, full bolts of batik that I'm just not using. So I'm going to take the batik and turn it into jelly rolls. This is just scrap that I'm processing. Okay, so what you're doing when you're doing scrap, what I've already figured out, don't try to go crazy. Okay, because what I've got to do now is, okay, these two went all the way across, or did they? Yeah, these two went all the way across, so that's fine. I already know that this one didn't because I can see that it's not touching the line. That goes over there for just a minute. Okay. I already know that these are the leftovers from going over there. They're not wide enough for what I want. And this was the purple one that I put on. And it was already, yeah, there's the scrap. It was already cut. So when you're processing your scrap, go a little slower so that you can double check on your stuff. The rate, like I said, you can, if you're really, really careless, shove down hard enough to cut yourself. These are basically razor blades inside of here. I don't want you to be scared of, I don't want people to think they should be scared of this stuff, but also just keep in mind, don't go with the super kung fu grip. Okay. We'll get that one. We'll just put that one down here for now. So now what I've got, this is the 1.5 inch. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. This one was not wide enough to go through. Now I am not putting them exactly on the edge there because it's scrap. I do not need it to be that. Ugh. Where's the pieces that I just had out? I set them aside and now I can't find them. There they are. No, yeah, there they are. There's some of them. Okay. So because it's scrap, if you're doing, yeah, this is the big one. If you're doing regular fabric, then you're going to cut a piece that's going to go just over this side to just over this side, lay it out, and you'll get 5 strips. When this is turned into a jelly roll type of a project, it's called a honey bun, by the way. So I'm going to process what I've been doing. What I've been doing is when I'm doing scrap, it's all scrap. When I'm doing scrap, I haven't actually had a chance to start doing real fabric yet, if you know what I mean. For this particular one, I'm going every other because I might as well. Now this one here, I already know that the end the end doesn't fit, but the rest of it does. So I'm just going to take that little piece off. This is waste, but then again, this is scrap. So there's less, it's less waste. It's less waste for me. So now I am doing that. Do I have any more handy? Come on, I've got to, oh, wait. Okay. I'll just grab a few. What I was doing is the really obvious strips that I was finding as I was cutting, I was just setting them aside. So that can go there. And what I'm doing is I'm looking on this side and making sure that the top is above. That can go on the middle. Take your time. Don't be in a rush. Okay. Get in there. Oh, this by the way has, oh, I took that completely off. This by the way has one other function. This is a 3-function button. So yeah, so that's what I do for that stuff. I forgot that I had done that. So I've got fabric everywhere. I decided last night that I really needed to see it. They just kind of course the camera's not on there very well, but they just kind of flop around. So then I just peel these out. I changed tactics midstream last night when I realized just how much fabric I had. Every now and again, something doesn't catch. Just come back in, get a little pair of scissors, nip it. It's usually just a single thread. I changed tactics midstream last night when I realized just how much of this stuff that I had. Yeah, I go every other on this one because these pieces are so narrow as it is that it's really easy to mistake. It's really easy to see something that's not quite the right size and think that it is. So these I'm going to add to that pile right there. So what I did was midstream last night, I decided to iron everything because some of this stuff has been sitting around. This is what I've got left after sending out some amazingly huge scrap packs to people. This is what I've been bitching about for the whole time, about having way too much scrap. Yeah, I love scraps and Accuquilt. I just can't cut with a rotary cutter anymore. Hi, copycat. She's a copycat. You're copying me. Oh my God. Welcome to the mayhem. Okay, that one, I don't trust it. I just got my Accuquilt about 3 weeks ago. And I sew professionally, I guess is the best way to explain it. So I've got more scrap. I've got so much scrap, it's crazy. So I invested in an Accuquilt so I could, get my scrap used up, get my scrap cut up. I never find the time to deal with my scrap properly. maybe offer some pre-cut fabric in my Etsy shop, and then also pre-cut some of my stuff for the things that I sew. So I'm just giving everything a test ride. Well, not a test ride, but I've actually got a bunch of stuff done. I'm just hanging out and chilling while I get some stuff done, and figured I would do figured I would make it more tutorial-ish. So anyway, so what I did last night, okay, so I've got a huge pile of scrap. I realized it was a bloody mess, and I know you don't have to. At least that's what they're saying. If you've got an Accuquilt copycat, then you may have more information on it than me, but there's people that are saying that you don't have to iron your stuff before you put it through. But my scrap was such a bloody mess that I literally spent 4 hours last night ironing it all. So I switched tactics midstream, and as I'm ironing it, I would come across narrower pieces, not even on camera, but that's okay. I would come across narrower pieces and just set them aside. So I've been I got partway into this mayhem, and it's like I'm going to start setting aside the smaller pieces, and then once I get my squares done, I will move on to my strips, and then once I get my strips done, I'm still going to have way too much fabric on my hands. This is just the scrap bins that I've already been working with. Which one's that? That's the smallest one. So that one's going to go over there. That one's going to go over there. That one's going to go over there for later. But that's what that's going to look like. But yeah, once I get this all done, then I'm going to break into my boutique and start getting some of that sorted out. That's okay. If I fold this one in half, will it fit? Yes, it will. Yeah, if you don't iron, the wrinkles will mess up the crust, just like if you use a ruler. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I don't know why people were saying it's like, and like I said, I've only had this for like 3 weeks. So it's like, okay, I'm new to this. I accept that. I accept that I'm new to this and still learning, but I do not understand why. I watched one video, and I'm not going to disrespect the person who did it. If she's just doing it for her own personal projects and doesn't care, that's fine. But I saw one person, and yeah, unless they're not very wrinkled. I spent like 4 hours ironing last night. I was like, I am not taking chances with this stuff. But yeah, I've just been processing this stuff. I'm not agonizing about the whole. I'm not agonizing about getting 6 on no matter what. But I'm not agonizing about getting 6 on no matter what, but I am agonizing about making sure that I'm paying attention to how I line them up. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. And then, like I said, since this is all scrap, I could throw it away. Because God knows you know what? I've had times where I've had so much scrap. I've literally just like loaded up an entire. Oh, hi, Ginger. I'm Peggy, by the way. Oh, no, I think that's that's my channel name. I don't have to tell anybody my name. I win. So I can turn that one into a strip later. I can turn these 2 into triangles later. I got the 12-inch block because I do slightly larger projects to begin with, so I didn't want to get too tiny. I'm self-taught at quilting, just to fill Ginger in on the mayhem that she walked into. I love to quilt, but I don't feel bad about it at all. But I'm self-taught at quilting, so getting those perfect cuts. I know getting the perfect cuts matters, and I also know that I am just not interested in trying that hard. Is that one going to fit? It says it might. No, I'm not going to try. That can go to the triangle pile. That one's going to be 4, so we can. It keeps saying there's something in the way, and there's not. Ooh, you're going to dinner? What you having? We're having McDonald's for dinner because Lisa's coming home. When's she coming home? I can go in that pile. Lisa's going live. Lisa's doing her live stream when she gets home. So it's like, we're not gonna. Oh, there, I can do some black squares again. 2, 4, and it fits. Or I can turn this into a, you know what? I've got so many black strips. Have fun at dinner, Gail. I've got so many black strips. I can start making more black squares. I have an idea for a quilt already. It's going to be super simple. I just take the squares and like make every like 4th one. I don't know. I've got a couple of ideas, and I never ever get around to actually cutting fabric up properly for stuff like that. So yeah, that's that one. That's strips. That's strips. That's strips. That's going to be a fun. That's going to be the rest of my evening. That's a large square. Is it a large square? That's a large square. That's going to be a large one. I don't actually. The only funny thing is, I don't really have a lot of the large squares. Most of my pieces are long and narrow. This is strips. Oh, that's coming. That is definitely coming. Oh, you mean just the quilting? The brrr. I've got to figure out. Apparently, I'm ready to stop at a moment's notice. I've got to figure out how to set up the camera for that. The problem that I have, I would love to do it because it's a great way for you guys to keep me company while I work. But the big problem that I'm having is because of the setup of my space. When you're doing a blanket, the extra is going off to the side, and it would get in the way of the camera. I'm not sure how to fix that. That's it. Oh, that'll go. Okay. If this one doesn't work, I can always move it over onto this one if I fuck it up. By the way, I swear way too much. Okay, this says it fits, so we'll see. Those are going to go over there. Yeah, I have way too much scrap. Way too much. That's the little one. Yeah, that's the little one. What am I doing? So, yeah, the one thing that, what about just an autoclad? That would probably work. What I mean, I've done that. I've done quilting. I've done the quilting. Well, the top stitching when I'm just doing the straight line stuff. I am definitely going to. I was gonna do it. I'm definitely going to. It's just a matter of making sure that the camera is set up properly. I don't trust that one. Okay. But yeah, I've got other smaller projects coming up that I plan on doing. Is that going to go? I bet you it won't. I've got other smaller projects. Wait, I've got 2, 4. That's going to be too many. That's going to be 8, right? I'm not sure why this one's here. It's going to go there. And I'm not sure why that one's there. It's going to go there. There, that's 6. I'm also not sure what's going on. Maybe it's a timeout thing. I gotta double check the manual. When the blue button's going, when the blue button is flashing, when the blue button is on, it means that there's something in the way, but it could also mean like if I have my iron, if I just ignore my iron after a while, it starts to flash just to warn me that it's gonna power down. So it could be the same thing. When it flashes red, it means that it's jammed. If it flashes red, it means that it's jammed. So you just push the button again and it reverses it out. But yeah, I do want to, I mean, the free motion quilting part is pretty quiet, meditative, whatever. So Let me bring that over there and see. There's 5 right there. I think as I get on tarot wraps, I've done a tarot wrap. I'm trying to remember. You know what? My problem is that I haven't done any. I haven't done just. This is a bigger one. I'll get one big one through. I don't seem to have a lot of bigger pieces, but that's okay. Yeah, when the blue light's on, just turn it off and back on again. I made up a block that uses 12 cube, 6.5 inch square, 3.5 inch square. Yeah, well, all I'm doing, I'm just cutting everything into squares or strips right now. Everything. You know what? This is all scrap for me. So I'm just processing all my scrap, because if I really want to, it's like, oh, I really wanted to do blah. It's scrap. I don't care. Oh, I need triangles. Okay, I can just throw this on and make triangles now. So I'll be much more careful. Like when I do one of the block on board patterns and that sort of thing. When I do that, I'll be a lot more careful. But oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave those. I'll be a lot more careful going forward. Once I get the scrap processed out, I'll be a lot more careful after that. Well, that's not wide enough. That's not wide enough. That's wide enough. But right now, it's just like I said, I've gotten so frustrated in the past with the sheer amount of scrap that I have literally filled up garbage bags, multiple garbage bags, just to get rid of it all because I was running out of space. And you can only spend so many hours a day sewing. I know it's blasphemy, but it's true. Acrylic templates. Oh, for cutting, you mean? Peony, do you mean acrylic templates for cutting fabric? Yeah, I've got plenty of I've got some templates for some various stuff. This would kill this spending the time standing there cutting up this much fabric would ruin my shoulder. Just ruin it. So it's like, does that fit? Nope, that doesn't go. So that's what my fascination with this is to just make sure that and I can still come back and cut this stuff down for other things. But okay. Let's do, oh, that's already 5. That's good. That's the right one. Oh, for freestyle. Yeah, I've seen those. I would not know where to begin with those. I would not. They are, you hold them down and you hold them down on your machine as you're going around. I wouldn't know where to begin. I really wouldn't. I think they're really cool. I think they're really, really cool. I'm gonna get my bigger scissors out. There's that little pair. I feel like I'm gonna jab things. I've seen them. I don't know what I think of them. I really don't. I don't dislike them. I think they're super cool. I just don't know whether I would be not willing to use them, and able to use them properly. Okay, what's going on here? Here's a bigger one. I've got a quilting idea, and I will need a bunch of small, dark-colored squares. So that's going to work. I'm going to put that through and take my chances. Oh. Once the blue light comes on, it will not operate. Hey, I got through almost the first hour and a half. I got to go blow my nose. Not a freaking surprise, because processing this much fabric also means dealing with a certain amount of fabric dust. Right back. Get it. Itchy face. I don't think there's anybody here that has not heard me sneezing, but oh my God, you should have heard me last night once I started digging through. Some of this stuff has been in the bottom of that bucket for, I swear, a very long time, like over a year, maybe close to 2 years. So that's why I'm super excited. I'm just going to cut fabric and come on here and, okay, that was 4, that's 6. Okay. I'm not worrying about the waist right now. I'm really not. I'm not going to worry about the waist. I am going to have to put together, I don't know if you want to call it a system or not. There will be more waist using this. Then again, when I did my star thing, there's so much, certain types of patterns just generate a lot of waste just by default. So I don't think I feel too bad when I'm doing a star-shaped cloth, and then all the waste that comes just from being able to do that. I don't think I'm going to feel bad that my scrap is creating spat. I buy my fabric both locally and online. I buy both. It depends on what I want and where it is. Some fabrics are easier to get locally. Some fabrics are cheaper to get online. There's hoping to hit Hobby Lobby this weekend, but it's an hour and a half away. I found, it's not going to go there, but it'll go there. There's a Canadian chain called, there's a Canadian store called Lens Mill, but they're in Ontario, and sometimes they have some really good prices. I ordered, somebody told me about a fabric that they had at Joanne. Couldn't get it anywhere else, so I ordered from Joanne, had it sent up to Canada. Okay, that might be, I'll have to review that later. No, those are no good. That one's no good. These ones I just got close to the edge, but it looks like it's probably more than a 1/4 inch. So that can go into the triangle pile, and I'll cut it down into something else. Some of these, look at this, I'm covered in crap. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Hobby Lobby. No, wait, I think I have once. I'm in Canada, and we don't have those up here. So, I built myself a command center. So my ironing board, you guys can't really see it, but my ironing board is back here, and it is the pile that I showed you here. I've got 2 piles the same size back here. I'm not even getting through this today. This is the rest of my day, and a big chunk. This is the rest of my day, a big chunk of my tomorrow. Actually, this is probably the rest of my week, being perfectly honest. Nope, that doesn't go there. I'm going to cut the big one. These are strips. I know those are strips. That's a little one. More strips. Like I said, I got part way in. I got part way in and then realized that I needed to separate the strips and just do them as an entirely, because these are huge. These are like 24 inches long. I can do these at the same time. And then I'm going to, I had some was goodness, because I'm thinking that if I save these, I can do if I save some of these bigger pieces, I can do them up into the hexagons for more hexagon cloth, but at the same time, it's not going to hurt me to cut them separately. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? You go right back there. I snagged you by mistake. But I think it's an overthink if I do that at this point. Like I said, I'm just trying to get scrap all used up, so that's its own thing. Yeah, that's to there. And it fits. Yes. Okay, that was 245. Oh, there's another red one. I don't think this one fits. Ooh, barely. It barely fits. I haven't decided. What a lot of people are doing is taking Sharpies and marking these to help them line up their fabric. I just haven't decided how I want that to look yet. So, but I'm brand new to this. I'm super happy though. Super, super happy. I cannot wait to get my batik going. Okay, one. Yeah, my fingers are so dry that I find that if I leave the glove on, I'm having a much easier time handling the fabric. One on, one off, right? And Michael Jackson. Okay, those can just go there. Now let's see what happens here. One thing that I'm going to plan to do, this is my plan. We all know me and my fucking plans. One of my plans to do is I'm planning to maybe make it a routine where, let's get this is something I get the luxury of doing, okay, is I've got this fabric here, and I've got that moth right there, and I've got a little piece right here. So I'm going to line it up. Okay, I'm going to line it up. I'm going to get the moth a little to the top because that little moon. So I've lined it up so that the moth and the moon, ideally, yay, scrap. Ideally, and I'm going to run it through by itself. I'm running it through by itself because it's got a pattern on it that I don't want to lose. And I don't want to take a chance. There we go. Look at that. That's beautiful, eh? I didn't want to take a chance. Okay, if this one shifts, as long as it comes out square, like if that guy shifts and the one under it, if that shifts, as long as it comes out square, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to notice. It's not changing anything. If that one had shifted, then I'll still get a square, but it wouldn't be as nice. Okay. You go there, you go there, you come here. I think what I want to do is like maybe make, I'm horrible at scheduling, but I think what I want to do is make it a point of at least one day a week grabbing whatever dyes make sense and processing at least some of my scrap, because this doesn't look like it, but it's super fast. It doesn't seem super fast because I'm doing scrap, but it's actually super fast because if I have to do all this and then get out the mat, then get out the rotary cutter. You mean like that? Yeah, I have to cut the ends. Don't quite cut. I took my 1.5 inch strips and I've been sewing them together end to end. I see you. Go ahead and post the link. You can't post the link. Just give me a second. Give me a second, and you'll be able to post the link. La 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 la. That should. Oh, turn off. So I'm not echoing all over everybody. There we go. There, now you can add a link. Now you can add a link. Go ahead and go. Yeah, I've seen what's her name? Karen of Just Get It Done Quilts. She did a video showing that. But yeah, just sewing them all together. I've got a couple of really fun ideas that I'm going to play around with. The biggest problem is an idea to play around with when you already know doing it by hand, right? But yeah, go ahead and post a link now. It won't let it wouldn't let you, but now it will. I've seen it's turning out to be a really popular thing. Just going ahead and sewing them all together. I want to what I'm going to do when I get that strip big enough, I'm going to take all my 2.5 inch pieces, this bucket here, I'm going to sew all them end to end. Then I'm going to sew those to those side to side. Then I'm going to start making a quilt out of it. So that's actually a quilt project that I got on the go, and it's not the same, but it feels like the same idea to me. If that makes sense. But yeah, like I'm already fiddling and fussing and moving things around. This is that going to be? No, that's not going to be big enough. I need more big pieces though, so I'm gonna. I know I'm fiddling and fussing, and you know I'm fiddling and fussing. Do I need? People sell them? What? So people just sew all this shit together into a big roll and then sell it? Weird. Okay, I shouldn't say. You know what? I shouldn't say that's weird, because one of the things that a lot of people love this. Make their big piles of. Is that big enough? A lot of people love to make their big piles of scrap, and so I love sewing with scrap. This is not fun. This part does not feel like a lot of fun. Okay, it's fun. This is fun. It is. Let me back up and check myself and not be such a dick here. It's fun. This is a lot of fun. But because I also sew for a living, this takes more time, which I don't mind, but it cuts into other projects, cuts into the time for other projects, right? I don't know that I would make an entire. I don't know that I would make something like that, but it is cool. Come on, what's going on here? Oh, that's why that needs to be a little bit more, and then that needs to be a little bit more, and then that needs to be a little bit more. There, now I got them covering it properly. There, I know I got that covering it properly, and now I've got 5 layers, and I do not need to agonize over finding layer number 6. So I'm going to cut it. No, I'll tell you right now, when I get this out of the way and I can get over there and start working on strips, those will actually go a lot faster, because I'll load one up. I'll get one die. I've got the 2 dies, so I'll get one die. Oh, no, you know what? I forgot to tell you guys just how much. Oh no, I did tell you. Basically, all in everything that I got together. So 8, the 12-inch block, the machine, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 7 other dies. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 block on board. Yeah, it was about $2,500, which in the grand scheme of things, because I can write it all off as a business expense, isn't that bad. I don't think if you were just a casual quilter who maybe made 1 quilt a year, this probably unless you love quilting or sewing in general, whatever it is that you're sewing. Like if you've got the extra income, and cutting fabric is something that is a problem for you due to time, even time. There's plenty of things that people deal with because they can afford it. If you can afford it and that's what you want, that's fine. If you're looking at it as a, oh, well, thanks, Copycat Quilter. Yeah, I do mostly lives just because I like to hang out while I quilt. But, I'm always up for, I like to talk about what I'm doing as I do it because I just like to hear my own voice. So I look forward to seeing you soon. No, I will say, I think it's okay for what I'm doing and for what I need out of it. It's a worthwhile investment. But then again, we're mostly tarot people, right? And, oh, I want that deck. Right? If it works for you, then it's what's right for you. If you're literally looking at, if you've stumbled your way into here, or if you're like, I know Gail mentioned it, right? If you're looking at the cost versus benefit, then I would say if if you're having the money conversation with yourself and the money matters, I don't want to say the money doesn't matter for me, but I obviously, because I'm doing this as a business and have a reason, blah, 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 blah. But if you're just like this, if you're like, this looks cool and I want it, but I need to justify the expense, just ask yourself how much quilting you're doing and go from there. But then again, like I said, if you have physical or time, if you love to sew and hate to cut, or have time limitations or whatnot, then this might be the best product you ever stumbled across. It's like, oh, I can do what I want. I don't know. I'm saying I always do the money. I have no problem talking about the money piece when it's tarot decks, but when it's my own spending, it's different, right? But I do think, I think it's a worthwhile investment for me, especially. Now, if you're not sure, there's a starter kit that you can get that's smaller. This is the biggest one. This is the biggest one. I knew walking in because I got, like I said, I got a basically tendonitis on this side and a shoulder on this side. It's like I'm not even gonna, if I have to be doing this all day in order to make this work. Like, see, I can do that. I'm fine. I am fine. Okay. For anybody that's thinking I've got something serious happening, I am fine, but I would not be fine if that's what I had to do all day long, right? Okay, I'm gonna turn these into strips. I know I've just seen a lot of red in the last couple of minutes, but I actually don't have a lot of red in my stuff right now. Can I fold that in half? No, so if the money matters to you, then either start with a smaller, figure out what you're exactly going to need. It's like I do most of my quilting using 4-inch squares. Then you could probably, there's a little hand crank one that you could get that does that does smaller, that would do a die this size. I think it goes to that size, and just go for it, right? It doesn't have to. This is I picked the most expensive option. I picked the most expensive option because like I said, I have the write-off that I can use in my favor at tax time, and I knew what I had just processing this scrap. Like, look what I've got now. Look how big that doesn't look like a lot, but that is a lot of fabric, right? And I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna save some of it for me, but I'm also gonna put some of it into packs because there's lots of people that like to buy random packs of fabric. But anyway, I think I haven't got to proper cutting yet. I'm gonna do. Oh, I need those sizes. Let's see if that one will go there. It'll go there. Yay, that goes there. That's 4, 5, 6. Now, I think if I if I was getting this for myself, just for a hobby, I'd still get the electric machine, and I'd probably start with the 2.5-inch strips because that's standard. That's the standard strip size. It really is. It's a standard. I would still get for myself, depending on whether you're okay with cranking a handle, then you're gonna want. I'm going to leave these. I'm going to leave these because even though they've got a bit of the selvage in there, it is definitely less than 1/4 inch. But I would start with, if I was just doing it for myself with no other agenda. I don't know. Do I have an agenda? What do you call it? I don't know. I would definitely, I definitely would have ended up with a machine. I probably would have went for a hand crank if I was just, I hate processing squares and blah, blah, blah. Hand crank, maybe one square. But so far, I'm already like, it's worth it. No, I want that over there. I want that over there. I want that over there. But I don't know. Well, I do know. I just don't know how to express it. I never know how to express it when it's my own spending. Isn't that weird? Okay, it shouldn't be weird. I'm making it weird. That's the thing. I am making it weird. But no. If you do a lot of sewing, I would definitely advise you to go take a look. Oh, and when you go on the Accuquilt website, maybe I should link it. When you go onto the actual Accuquilt website, does that fit if I fold it in half? When you go onto the actual Accuquilt website, you can take a look at all of the quilts, all of the blocks that they have, right? If you love quilting but cutting is an issue for you because of mobility issues or whatever, because like I said, you have to hold your ruler down, you have to get everything out, hold your ruler down, run the cutter. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when I buggered my shoulder just before Christmas there, I literally couldn't work for like 2 weeks. I could only really work with what I already had on hand because cutting fabric was a pain in the ass. So I would definitely say, especially if you're doing something that requires precision cutting, I would definitely say give it a good look, give it a long hard look and see what you think. But I wouldn't just get one to have one. If I was just sewing the occasional thing for myself for fun, I'm not sure that I would be able to justify the expense. I'm really not sure, but that's all personal opinions and blah, blah, blah and shit like that. So let me just. There it is. Just in case anybody cares. Come on, there it is. Okay. There's the Accuquilt website. Come on. There it is. There's the Accuquilt website for anybody who cares. I would say that if, mind you know what? If you're one of those people that does have a mass, if you're not doing a lot of sewing anymore, it's like, oh, I don't really sew anymore, right? Then you could probably do really well by getting one of these and then processing all of your stuff into sellables. But then again, that depends on whether or not you want or need or whatever to sell them. Okay, what's going on there? Okay. Anyway. So what else is going on? I could babble about this shit all day because I'm still super excited. I'm still super excited about my new toy. So super excited about my new toy. I think it's worth it. I think it was definitely worth it based on what I do. I think that if you have an interest in it for yourself, just have a very candid conversation with yourself about what you do. Because like finding the time to cut all this stuff up, it doesn't seem like I'm saving a lot of time, but I really am. I mean, I've already got enough over there. I've already got enough of these two combined. I've already got enough to make the top of a quilt for myself if that's what I want to do with it. I've already got enough to put it together in a pack to sell if that's what I want to do with it. And processing scrap, that's what they call it. Processing scrap is, oh my God, even in the best case scenario, I should really I'm not going to do a comparative. I am not going to have a contest with myself. I love my crafting toys. I've got a bunch of crafting toys. I'm not sad. I'm not anything. I've got a bunch of crafting toys. I know it. I'm lucky. I wouldn't just run out and buy one of these though, unless you, like I said, have an honest conversation with yourself. Yeah, if they bring you joy, it's money well spent. I will tell you right now, like, what happens? This is a conversation of, okay, I've got a fucked up leg. I think most of you guys already know that. I've got a fucked up leg, right? And Lisa and I have had that conversation. Well, what happens if like my shoulder's been, I don't know what I did, but I did a shoulder thing. Whenever shoulder injury, no matter what happens, no matter how you've managed to injure your shoulder, if you injure your shoulder in even the tiniest of ways, it can take months to go away. Okay. So one of the conversations that we had a while ago was like, what happens if for some reason, and it's no big deal. Let me just be very, very, very clear. It's no big deal at all. I'm fine, but I'm still a little sensitive. So if I sleep a little funny or whatever, my shoulder can be achy the next day, that sort of thing. So it's the typical shit that we deal with because we're adults and blah, blah, blah. No big deal with it. So I was like, well, what happens if this is as good as it gets? Well, then cutting up massive piles of, then cutting up my scrap into other uses isn't going to happen. I just don't, whatever. I'm overstating a comically tiny example. So don't read, and it's like, this one's, here's another one. I want to get that black. I want to get that black. I'm not even sure what it is. It's not a dandelion, but I want to get that centered. So I'm going to run it through by itself to make sure it doesn't shift. So if it's flashing red, it means something's stuck. Which means that if I get, if it's flashing blue, move whatever's in the way out of the way, turn it off, turn it back on again. If for some reason it were to stop right now and start flashing red, you just press it again and it will reverse. But that's the electric one. If you're doing the hand crank one, and if you're doing the hand crank one, if something's in the way, stop cranking. And if there's a problem, start cranking in reverse. So that one's done. It's pretty centered. I like how it did it. I can probably get a nice triangle out of that one too. Anyway, no, I don't think I could have justified this as an expense 5 years ago for myself. Well, even 3 years ago. I'm not sure that I would have justified the expense 3 years ago. I am going to make a big ass strip out of that. And that one. Those are strips. But then again, it's all about what's going on and where you're at. But that is with the fabric. Okay. These are with the fabric, so they're gonna go. I'm gonna do those into 1.5 inch strips and do a honey bun. A honey bun is 1.5 inch strips. Anyway, no, I can harp on the money piece forever and ever and ever, and you guys know that because anybody who's seen me in tarot land, I don't think anybody here's not in tarot. Well, I guess some people aren't into tarot, but it's like if it brings you joy and you can afford it, then you don't owe anybody an apology or an explanation. So I'm not apologizing and I'm not explaining. I'm just mulling over a realistic assessment for. That's going to be a strip because it's super long. I'm just giving a realistic assessment, I hope, based on the expense of it. If you're going to get one, if you get one, this seems fun. As long as it's something that's within your budget, enjoy. If I had something like this 4 or 5 years ago, I would never have ended up using it. And then again, I'd be like looking in the closet going, hey, I've still got this thing, so I'm glad I have it now, but that's a whole different thing. I am going to do those. How did they, I know why I put them there. No, I'm not going to do those. Okay. I've got these over here. I've got little Yorkies. And if I line them up correctly, I can get them properly cut. I don't want to screw around with that just yet. I'm still thinking about what I want to do with these. I've had them around for a while. And just never found the time to use them. Is that? Oh no, that is a. But anyway, considering how expensive quilting can be as a hobby, a $2,500 investment in something that does your cutting for you isn't really that big of a deal. But if it is a big deal for you, just be aware of it. Well, there's a tiny gap right there. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I just dropped the one thing down there. And it's a tiny little spot. Let's bring you back up there. But I'll try to stop harping on the money. I'm really happy with it. I think that if you do a lot of sewing and quilting, I think you would be really happy with it. But I did spend time going over the Accuquilt website to decide what I did and didn't need. Because they also, like I had the 12-inch block up, right? So those are square. The reason why I decided on the 12-inch block is because the 12-inch block comes with these smaller blocks, right? So it comes with these. If you get like the 6-inch block, then you'll get this and a smaller one. It keeps sizing down. So if you ever want to, so I can take a bigger block and cut it down. I can't take a smaller block and size it up. So I decided on the 12-inch block. I decided on the 12-inch block because I can take this and cut it down into other things if that's what I need. I can't take this and turn it into that, but I can take this and turn it into that. I can always go smaller. So I decided on the largest possible block that I could realistically get. Well, not the large. Well, yeah, the 12-inch is the largest. I decided on the 12-inch because, like I said, I can still from here size these down. I can't size them up. That was my personal decision. Okay, does that go there? That does go there. Why? Oh, I moved it because I dropped shit everywhere. But no, other than you could literally get, if you take a look at the Accuquilt website, you'll quickly figure out that you can get lost in this for like tens of thousands of dollars. So you really want to. I don't think that one's going to fit. No, it doesn't. We'll put it there. You could really get into Accuquilt for a very, very large amount of money. So that's something you want to be aware of. I don't know if that one's going to fit. I'll pull that over to the side, put that there. It'll fit just barely. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it already. I am very, very, very happy with it already. Funny thing is I don't think I'm going to be sitting here using it like 10 times a day. And like that, you get it out, you process a bunch of stuff, and then once you have some more stuff to process, you process that. But anyway, what time is it? Oh my God, it's almost 4 o'clock. But then again, you know what? I spent like the first hour just doing a show and tell. So there's that. That's there. I cut that, and it just wasn't big enough. Didn't work out. It's in the pile. See if I can trim it down into something better. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do that way. I got an idea for a quilt already using these pieces. Now I'm going to cut that in strips. I've got like 2 ideas for quilts. 3 ideas. I'm going to have so many strips that I'm going to be able to just do strips, sew them all together, and make what's called a racing quilt. Then I'm going to have, and I know this already, then I'm going to have, that's not big enough, but that one is. Ooh. Okay. Well, that one can go over there. I'll refold it in a second. So I'm going to, my other idea is to take these smaller squares and go, oh, I can go over here. There we go. Here's my other ideas. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go random squares. Square, square, upside right, square, square. There's a mix and match, right? Square. Okay. There's a different red one. Oh, we'll grab that blue one. Go square, right? So I'm going to make that, right? Then I'm going to take one of these, take a black, put it in the center. So then they're going to look like that. So then I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do 3 random color, black, color. Then the next square is going to be the exact same thing. Well, they're not going to be squares, it's going to be rectangles. So the next square is the exact same thing where I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get that out of there and put that in there. Okay. So if I do them like that, so if I do 3 of those, then do that separate. If I do that as one block, then that as one block. A block doesn't have to be square, right? So I do that. Okay. Then when I put them together, they will automatically drop into the 9-piece, right? So when I sew them all together, I can just do whole bunches of these, and then I just go all the way across, and they will just automatically look like squares of 9, and I can keep them super random that way. I'm not sure, because if I do them that way, then I can just sew these up as a big giant pile of shit and then sew them together when I have a chance. And I can just do it as I go. I don't know how that's going to go. It's dropping it down. Oh, I'm thinking about this. It's kind of sloppy, so it's hard to get the right idea, but oops, that way. I think I will be able to get a really sharp looking quilt, keeping the darkest for the centers of each thing, and putting them together, patterning them together like that. I think I can do 3. Let's do that. Yeah, I can get more out of it. That's already folded in half. Oh no, that's 2 pieces. And that's enough. Anyway, what's everybody doing? Lisa's going live when she gets home. We're getting McDonald's. I think I already mentioned I'm getting McDonald's for dinner. McDonald's for dinner. I think once I'm done chatting with you guys, I'm probably just gonna maybe even put on a movie. The computer's right here. Right here, set up beautifully. It's been running fine all afternoon. So I don't think I have to agonize about that. And then continue going. I won't be able to, obviously I can't keep doing this and chatting with you guys while Lisa's doing her thing. So that's fine. That's just how life goes in the Pez house. But what's that? Nope, that doesn't fit there. That fits there. These little triangle ones, I'm saving them for other. I'm just going to start saving them all because I don't have that big of a pile, and I definitely want to have lots and lots of triangles when I'm done here too. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think going forward, I'm definitely still going to be doing fabric scrap packs for you guys. But even with all the scrap packs I sent out, I'm still overwhelmed with fabric, and yeah, that just go okay. Check this out. Okay, so I've got. Come on. Now these are only these are all the 1.5 inch strips that I did the other day. They're just sitting there waiting for me to decide what to do with them. So I've got. Oh, Just found some more fabric that didn't, oh, this is all covered in dust, so I can't really keep it. But I can use it as a dust rag for the other stuff. Okay. So this is more stash. All of that, these are all bigger pieces that have been in my stash forever. And I'm not necessarily going to cut all of it up, but this is stuff that I haven't been using for one reason or another. And that stuff I still have to decide what if any of this I'm cutting up. I have to decide what if any of that I'm cutting up. And then I have, you guys know what a bolt of fabric looks like, right? It's the big piece. I think I've got 20 bolts of batik. Batik is a finer weave. It's still cotton, but it's a finer weave of cotton that it's a finer weave of cotton that's also used for quilting. I've got like 20 bolts of that. I started using batik, and it's nice to use, but I realized I just wasn't liking it. I don't know why. I just don't. I think for me, I think I was being a big bad snob, because the thing is that when I'm doing something, okay, if I'm doing a cloth, and you saw the cloths I showed you, right? If I'm doing a cloth, I don't like to have quilting cotton and batik mixed together in the same project, because you can feel a texture difference, and it's really, I don't know, significant, because batik feels nice, but it feels different than regular quilting cotton, right? And there's always a certain amount of feeling a little, there's always a certain amount of texture difference just between one company and another company. Whoops, I gotta bring my command center back. I gotta bring my command center back because I still have bits of strips to set aside. So there's already a bit of a difference in feeling between different types of cottons, depending on who's making it, where they're getting it made, yada, yada. It's not that big of a deal. So batik it's different enough. It's different enough that it's like, it's different enough that you just can't really use batik and regular cotton in the same project. So I found myself having to keep it all. Oh, that's not big enough. It's not going to work. It'll go on that one. I'll do a strip with it. So I found that I wasn't using the batik, and that's why the batik is actually a really, really nice fabric to use, but it feels different from regular quilting cotton, and it's actually a tighter, finer weave. Batik is really nice, but I found that I was having issues just not really wanting to use them in the same project just because of the way the texture difference, right? It's a thing. It's a thing. You know, whenever you're doing your own thing, you can be really aware of minute differences. Yada 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 yada. You guys know the drill. So anyway, I got the batik and I'm not using it. I'm going to process it all into strips, squares. I'm debating on quilting kits, but quilting kits are hard because I've never done the I'll turn on the camera. Hey, hang out with me while I do this thing. But doing an actual tutorial is different, and I've never done one before, so I don't know if I want to do that. But we shall see. Those are oh, that will fit. That will fit there. That will fit there. Does that fit there? Did I get it lined back up again properly? Yes, I did. And we'll put it through now before it gets too much out of the way. Anyway, I'm going to be at this. I'm not sure if I'm happy or annoyed that the sensor is so sensitive. But I suppose it's better to be safe than sorry. It's not causing me any problems, so that's all that really matters. I am going to save that. Those two can go. I want to save that one because it's really pretty. See if I can turn it into something else. Okay. Ah, it's getting there. It's getting there. But yeah. Actually, I'll do this. I'll turn that into a strip too. I think I'm going to end up. I think this particular section of stuff. Oh, that's definitely. Wait a second. Maybe let's see. If that fits, that would be so pretty. I'm not sure where that came from though. Let's line that up to that. It'll work. Let's see what it turns into. I'm going to do it by itself though. It's got a really nice pattern on it. A non-tutorial tutorial. Oh, I love non-tutorial tutorials. It's like here's how you can make this shit work and not worry about life too much. But yeah, I mean I know it doesn't look like it because I'm turning big pieces of fabric into small pieces of fabric, but actually saving a lot of time here because usually you're gonna, yeah. How wide is that? That is too narrow. If it's not at least 1.5 inches wide, I don't really see how I can do much with it. Okay. This is all going to be strips. Ugh. Now, once I get going on the strips, that's going to be nice because I'll be taking a big piece. Some of these some of this here is actually a single piece of fabric. Oh no, that's a single piece of fabric because when I was finishing my quilt back, when I did my last quilt, I had to take a big long strip, like a 10-foot strip, and make my and not 10 feet, but I had to take two 6-inch pieces and then sew them together. I am happy to be doing a non-tutorial tutorial, and it's going to be so much fucking easier when I can just grab a pile of fabric and just go, this is what we're doing today. This is what I'm using. Okay, where's that? Oh, that's going to be nice. That'll work. That's actually stopped me more than once. It's like, oh, I really would love. I haven't. I think I want to make a blog. Okay, I want to make a blog. Okay, now I need to find the time to prep the material, clean up my entire sewing area, put away all the stuff that I've been working on that people pay me for, just to get everything back out so I can do the thing. And then I'm out of time and don't have. It's like, oh, well, now that I've got all that done. Oh, that's a triangle. What am I doing? Now that I've got all that done, I don't have time to come back and actually, so many times, it's like, because you guys see the mess I make. You guys see the absolute fucking mess I make when I get in here and I'm just making my regular stuff that I do every day. So I've been getting a little tiny bit, tiny bit. It'll cut, and then it's just got a single thread that didn't get snagged. That's pretty normal. Even I'm assuming that it's pretty normal because even when you're using a regular rotary cutter, even a nice sharp brand new blade, every now and again you're sitting there and it just doesn't quite make the cut. My sister sent me a 15-pound box of scrap supplies. Oh yeah. That's not going to go. Is it going to go? Ooh, barely. It barely goes. I'm going to trim this off. I'm going to trim this one off just because I've got it lined up. But it looks like the corner is just right there. So I'll trim it because that way I can spot whether or not it's shifted. Okay. I am not turning this one. Look at that one. I am not turning that one into a strip. So 1, 2, it'll go there. Oh yeah, it'll go there. Is it? Did it go there? Let's see. It goes there barely. So we're going to run it through right now before it has a chance to shift. If I screw it up, I can still run it through one smaller. Yeah, it's right. So scrap supplies for, I've always just made an assumption. I'm making an assumption that you sew, but do you sew, or is this like scrapbooking or something else? I still have to finish getting through the, I still have to make, Nana B, I don't know if you guys remember Nana B sending me the swearing fabric. I still have to get through that. And, I'm going to use this to cut up. I'll get the swearing fabric out, and then I'm going to cut it all into the 6.5 inch blocks, most of it. And then I'm going to, I'm going to get some more red going in strips over there. That can go there. That can go there. That can go over there. I'll tell you right now, though, if you're like scrapbooking and junk journals, yeah. Oh, since the kids were young, yeah. You know what? There's a system that's similar to this called a Sizzix. That's for paper. That's for paper craft, and it's really popular. I apparently the Sizzix used to be marketed as a fabric cutting system, but apparently it didn't work very well because you had to like iron it, starch it. I'm not sure. There's a whole lot of apparently. Oh, welcome back, Gail. Oh, I want that over there. Yeah, it is absolutely satisfying when I have those perfect squares. I swear to God, I should make an ASMR video about it. Just, the first few ones that I did, like, it's really weird. It's really weird because you line this up, then you go, is it going to fit? Nope. Take it back off. Put it over. I'm keeping. I gotta let that does not go in my drink. Yeah, I've heard. I was actually looking at the Sizzix because I heard about the Sizzix years ago. Oh, where'd that come from? Look at that. Dragon scales. Is that one going to go? Nope, it doesn't fit. That's why it's over there. That one fits though. I heard about the Sizzix years ago. Okay, I'm just gonna take those straight over. I don't really have a lot set aside for the triangle stuff, and I know that I'm gonna want some. I'm just kind of getting used to telling what's going to fit and where it's going to fit. There is a bit of a learning curve. That fig jam and magic cookie squares. I like figs. We lived in a place where we had a wild fig tree. Not wild figs. We had a fig tree growing outside because figs grow amazingly well in this area. I know I don't need to. I know I've been stuffing this. I've been running this through without cutting off the excess, but I don't want it hanging off in a weird way. Anyway, if you're like tight and stiff in your shoulders, this has been nice. This has been nice because I'm getting a lot of physical motion. That's just make the motion. Don't go through any. I'm just making the motion, and not a lot of weight happening here. The Sizzix Big Shot. Yeah, I've heard about that. Apparently, the Big Shot, they used to market that as able to cut fabric. And I'm not sure what the deal on that was because they do not market that as a fabric cutting product anymore. I think it just has too many issues. No, I'm not going to. You know what? I've got a big. I'm putting all of my little pieces in there, and depending on how I feel about life, once I get in 3 or 4 days, once I get this shit all done, depending on how I feel about life, I'm going to take a second pass through that bin before I throw it all out. And Oh, I can't do it. I got a cut. I got a little cut right there. Let's see. Nope. I'm going to put it over there, though. It might work as a thing. Some more bigger pieces. That's going to go on the big die. So this, I wish I was done. I wish I was done. That definitely fits there. Does that fit there? Yes, it does. This one here, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys can see it in the little guy up there. That I like this little fabric. This was like one of my favorites. Just something about it. Something about it. I'm going to revisit that idea, though, of turning all of this into, sewing all of it up into a giant roll and then sewing the roll. I don't know that would be a lot of work. I think the problem for me is that that's not going to fit. No, that's not going to fit on that one. Well, it will fit on this one, though, so let's put it over there. My problem is if I've got that time, you know what it is? It's because if I wasn't already, this is way faster. The industrial Ellison machines. I tried to look those up, and what little bit I was finding was hideously expensive, even more expensive than this. And it looked like it was a lot more limited as to what it could do. If I'm going to invest in a machine, I want this to do everything but sew it for me. Whereas my cousin would say everything but walk and piss. So with that in mind, it's like what really sold me on this was the number of see, just one little piece of thing didn't go. I'm keeping all the black separate, all the really darks separate in that pile, because if I do what I have a thought, and if I do follow through with that thought, I'm going to want the black separated out anyway. Can always add them in later. Okay, so I had one little thread that didn't come out. So far, so good. I have not had to come screaming in here. Like I said, as long as you're not pressing down super hard, and I'm guessing. Oh, talk to you later, peony. As long as you're not like pressing down super hard, you don't have to worry about the blades. I'm assuming that over time, maybe the foam here will soften, but yeah, I don't see anything that I need to pick out, which is kind of a nice little surprise, to be honest, because when they talk about cleaning these out, I kind of thought that, and considering I'm doing scrap that's already been, fairly abused material sitting in a bucket for 2 years. Some of this stuff is 2 years old, so it's like, whoop. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get the crank one. I have that basically even Lisa. I was like, I wonder if I should consider the crank one. And even Lisa was like, oh shit, if you don't change your mind on that right away, I'm going to veto it for you just because of the. But I will say, if I'm only doing enough fabric for one quilt at a time, this would probably be really nice. This would probably be totally fine and not have. I don't think I'd have. And like I said, I got some shoulder shit happening and blah, blah, blah. I don't think I would have a problem using a crank machine because this is actually really fast. It just doesn't seem like it because it's scrap. But I will say I can just cut a piece of fabric, boop, 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 throw it on. The bigger pieces, that's exactly what I've been doing. They've been going really well. If I was working with only pieces of size, I go do, throw it through, do, throw it through. And I could prep this one while I'm prepping that one. I will have to cut some fabric because obviously you're not going to just take your bolt and run it through sideways. I'll have to cut a long piece, then throw it on, then put it through. I'll be doing that with some new fabric once I was I gonna go? Oh yeah, that'll be fun. I'm gonna be doing that with some new fabric later anyway. Once I get once I get through the scrap and start to work on the batik, I'll probably come back. I'll probably be back more than once as I start working through this stuff because yeah, I need the company. We're just gonna put that over there. We're just gonna put that over there, and that's too narrow to do anything with. That there's already 6 here, I think. At least 5. Let's not mess around. Get it through. That's a really cool thing too, is that I don't have to agonize about getting it perfectly centered. Anyway, so that has been your mega long lecture. What time is it now? It's almost 4:30. That has been your mega long lecture all about my new toy. Whoops, was on that pile. Yeah, I am very happy with this. That might make a small one. I'm not sure yet. Okay. But I probably have to go too. I'm probably going to be, Lisa's got her live tonight starting at 6. So I'm probably going to be hearing from her very, very soon. And I'm going to be doing this. I need a break. I need a break. Oh my God. But you guys helped me get through about, I don't know, over 100 pieces of fabric, over 100 pieces of wacky size fabric that I had to like juggle and wiggle to, oh, does it fit this one? No. Does it fit this one? Does it fit this one? How do I want to trim it? Throwing it over there, throwing a bunch of it back there. You guys helped me get through a screaming shit ton of fabric today. Way more than it seems. Like I said, when you're going slow because it's all like this. So you guys helped me stay sane while I got through this. Is that, I don't think so. No, it's not the right size, but I can do it that way. So you guys kept me sane for the last couple hours while I got this done. So I much, much, much appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And I'm going to get going because I'm going to take a break. I think it's a good get. I think it's perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect for me. It's perfect for me. It's perfect what I need. I mean, I don't know. A few years ago, the price would have been like, oh my God, there's no way. But I think it's worth it. A little pricey, but for what I do and the way I do it, it's going to be an amazing time and sanity saver, and it's going to make it much easier for me to have the stuff I need to do my own stuff, like for quilting and stuff like that, right? If something sticks, just stop, take your time. There you go. Okay. I'm going to get going. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. We don't have a topic for, we do not have a topic for Friday. We'll figure something else. We'll figure it out. Oh, come on. Why is that sticking? We never think of a topic for Friday until Friday, but there's no rule that we have to have a topic right this second. So yes, it frees up more time for the actual creative stuff because if I'm just going to screw around, okay, I like to screw around and try new things. If I'm screwing around and trying new things, I love to reach for the scrap pile because then if I screw it up, I can throw it away and all I've lost is a little bit of time. Now that I've got this, I am prepared to do whatever. Like even this is going to be a FAFO project, but putting all the work energy, wearing myself out to do all this manually, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm going to have a lot more time for all the things. But anyway, we'll figure out a topic for Friday. I'll see you then. In the meantime, you guys have a great week. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.